Rangers are facing a fresh transfer dilemma this summer as serious interest emerges in one of their most important players. With the squad already undergoing changes under new manager Russell Martin, the timing of this latest development is far from ideal. The player in question was a consistent performer during a turbulent campaign and has quickly become a key figure in the team's plans moving forward. Now, with a concrete bid reportedly on the table and negotiations said to be ongoing, pressure is building behind the scenes at Ibrox. The club's response could have major implications not just for the remainder of the window, but for their hopes of challenging Celtic in the months ahead. So who could Rangers be letting go of? Let's break it down, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, Paul Dickov reckons Conor Coady will add the leadership Rangers have been missing in their bid to dethrone Celtic. The 32-year-old is set to plead with Leicester City bosses to be omitted from the club's pre-season tour, with the England cap pushing for a move to Ibrox ahead of next week's Champions League qualification first leg clash with Panathinaikos. Former Foxes striker Dickov reckons that the departure of the experienced defender would be a major blow to the English Championship side and new boss Martí Cifuentes. But he reckons Coady could be the missing ingredient for Russell Martin and a potential title push. Dickov said, "It would certainly be a loss for Leicester, but it would be great for Rangers if they signed Conor Coady. He is a quality player and he has bags of experience to bring to the table." One thing Rangers have been lacking over the last couple of seasons while trying to bridge the gap to Celtic is leadership. Russell Martin will have known that before he came to the club, and identified Conor as someone who could help with leadership. He has been captain at pretty much every club he has played for, which would be a valuable skill set to bring to Rangers. If they did sign him, and once he settled in, he would start to rub off on everyone else around him, which could really boost their chances of having a more successful season next year. Luuk de Jong is also reportedly on Rangers' radar, and the free agent appears to have now pulled the curtain down on his time at PSV Eindhoven. The 34-year-old opted against penning a contract extension with the club, but had been training with the Eredivisie champions to maintain his fitness. But the club have now handed his number 9 jersey to Ricardo Pepi and are on the brink of signing Borussia Mönchengladbach forward Alassane Pléa in a £3.4 million deal to fill the void left by de Jong. Speaking to Votable International about a deal for Pléa, PSV boss Peter Bosz said, "He's a really good footballer. A striker needs to score goals, and he's shown that. Even last season, when he scored 11 in the Bundesliga. He could also easily play just below or alongside Ricardo Pepi." Pushed on de Jong's future, he appeared to close the door, stating, "We waited for Luke, but that's no longer possible. Pepi isn't fit yet. He's training with us, but that's a different story. He's been out for 6 months. He's only now playing in matches. He needs time, and you can't keep waiting for Luke. You simply need a striker. Whether there's still room for Luke, I honestly don't know." Now in a huge transfer reveal, Mohamed Diamande is beginning to turn heads far beyond Glasgow, and it hasn't taken long for the bids to roll in. The Rangers midfielder, who shone brightly in what was otherwise a frustrating campaign for the Ibrox side, is attracting serious interest during the summer window. After a season in which he consistently delivered in the engine room, it's little surprise to see his name linked with a move away from Rangers. But while suitors are circling, Rangers have drawn a firm line in the sand. According to Fanatic, Turkish giants Besiktas have lodged a bid of over £6.5 million for the 23-year-old Ivorian. The Super League side reportedly initiated contact to explore a deal, hoping to bring Diamande to Istanbul as part of a midfield revamp following the recent arrival of Orkun Kokcu from Benfica. Rangers, however, have made their position crystal clear. Diamande is not for sale. Under new boss Russell Martin, the Light Blues are in no mood to part ways with one of their standout players, especially not when he still has 3 years remaining on his contract. With Nico Raskin also potentially heading for the exit, losing Diamande now would be a major blow to squad continuity. The club's reluctance is understandable. Diamande has shown immense potential since arriving from Nordsjælland, and his value could rise significantly with another strong season in Scotland. From a strategic standpoint, selling him now, and at that price, would make little sense. Besiktas, though, are not giving up just yet. Negotiations are believed to be ongoing, but whether the Turkish club can tempt Rangers into softening their stance remains to be seen. With expectations high for Russell Martin to mount a serious challenge to Celtic, the idea of letting go of key assets doesn't align with the ambitions at Ibrox. Keeping hold of Diamande, at least for another year, looks not just sensible but essential. In other news, the long-running pursuit of Lennon Miller has become one of the defining sagas of the Scottish transfer window, and with good reason. Widely regarded as one of the brightest young talents in the Scottish Premiership, perhaps even the most valuable outside of, and possibly including, the old firm, the 18-year-old midfielder has become a sought-after commodity. His performances for Motherwell have elevated him beyond simple promise. He is, by all accounts, the standout figure at the club, and arguably the league's most prized asset outside the traditional powerhouses. Interest in Miller is extensive and growing. Offers have already been made, and there is no shortage of suitors both at home and abroad. Italian side Como are among the continental clubs monitoring his situation, and competition from across Europe is expected to intensify. However, the focus within Scotland centres on a familiar question: Rangers or Celtic? From a Rangers perspective, there is no doubt that Miller would represent a major acquisition. But the financial challenge is considerable. Motherwell are demanding a fee in excess of £5 million, a valuation they are justified in holding firm on given Miller's age, talent, and potential resale value. Should either Glasgow giant meet that price, Miller would become the most expensive player ever to move between Scottish clubs. Yet for Rangers, the road to securing his signature is complicated by recent spending. The club has already invested heavily this summer, £500,000 on Joe Rothwell, £4.5 million to make Oscar Cortez permanent, £5 million on Arsgaard, and £3.5 million for Manny Fernandez. While Rothwell's deal represents reasonable value, the overall outlay raises questions about whether sufficient funds remain for a marquee signing like Miller. Celtic, by contrast, may find themselves in a stronger financial position to meet the asking price. But there is an argument to be made about the player's pathway. At Parkhead, competition for midfield places is fierce. At Rangers, however, the road to regular minutes is clearer. The current midfield options, Nico Raskin, Mohamed Diamande, Joe Rothwell, and Lyle Cameron, leave room for Miller to break into the first team relatively quickly. Ultimately, everything hinges on the price. Rangers' interest is real, but whether it translates into a formal bid remains uncertain. Without a doubt, Lennon Miller is a player worth pursuing, but only time will tell if Rangers are prepared and financially able to make their move. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so make sure you join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.